Mount Zion Church, formerly known and affectionately known as the Little White Church sitting on the corner on the hill in Cary. How is it that this tiny church was able to exist in the bustling town of Cary, North Carolina? How is it that this church was still able to worship God and serve their community? Sitting in the midst of North Carolina, how is it that this church was able to stand in Cary, North Carolina for 155 years? In order to get that story, we first must go to Farrell Street. In 1865, a small wood frame church was built on Farrell Street. For 54 years, a community of believers took care of Mount Zion. Most of the pastors at the time would have been trained at Shaw Divinity, and we would have 2 pastors under that time. In 1930, Reverend Will Smith helped us acquire a potbelly stove, a story often told by Sister Lois Arrington. Our beloved member, Sister Geneva Edwards, served under the pastorship of Reverend Eugene Mason in 1969. During that time, a Cub Scout troop was chartered, and Sister Viola Barnett formed a choir. Reverend Mason would be the pastor until his sudden death in June of 1979. In October of that same year, Pastor J. Allen Lewis would become the 7th pastor. He came to Mount Zion with his young family, Phyllis and their 3 sons and his nephew. He had an exuberant passion for God's Word. Pastor Lewis instituted unity, family devotion, with love for our fellow man, and dedication and passion for God's Word. Pastor Lewis started his ministry at Mount Zion with a drawing force of young people as well as the old to return to God and the church with faith and hope. During Pastor Lewis's tenure, the membership grew to more than 350 members. In the late 80s, Pastor Lewis was led by God to restructure the Mount Zion to a more biblical structure. That included leading the convention and moving Mount Zion forward by acquiring new land and moving us towards a name change. But he would not live to see those changes. In 2001, after a prolonged illness, Pastor Lewis went on to be with the Lord. But like a good shepherd, he did not leave his flock unattended. That is when Willie Harris, the 8th pastor, was installed at Mount Zion. Pastor Harris would go on to break ground with Sister Lewis and the Board of Elders into our new edifice on 316 Allen Lewis Drive. Pastor Harris's primary spiritual gifts include teaching, wisdom, knowledge, and shepherding. His passion to transform the lives of people by helping them discover their God-given purpose. The vision that God has given Pastor Harris for Mount Zion is to be a worshiping church that spreads the gospel and serves the community. Being a church that puts faith in action, growing our babies, fostering familial relationships amongst our members, supporting the arts with original adaptations of plays, dances, and musical productions, cherishing the memories of our loved ones gone on to be with the Lord, fortifying our communities to make a global impact, training our young people to be the leaders of our church for tomorrow, investing in our young families and growing them and teaching them in the Lord, allowing our families opportunities to grow, and moving us technologically forward so that we may continue to share the gospel with many. We have come a long way since the wood frame church on Farrell Street. Mount Zion continues to be a Bible-based church that is committed to the teaching and training and the making of disciples and showing the love of Christ to all people. We are committed to reaching people and seeking to spread the gospel. It's been 155 years, but we are just getting started.